I used to buy American magazines, American music magazines. Oh, I can't remember what they're called. Keyboard was one of them that advertised. I mean, it's amazing stuff, which we just didn't have in the UK. But it was just interesting to know what was happening over there. I think, well, if it's happening over there, it's going to find its way over here at some point. The pet, I think that was sort of one of the first machines to make it to the UK. There probably other ones as well.
It's interesting to hear that, that you really were fascinated by what was happening in the US and how the products came over or didn't come over. Yeah, it
hadn't been that long since the microchips had been invented in the 50s, 60s. I think the 40s, probably the 50s. Everything was valves, and then we got the transistor. And then we got the microchip, and you could just see the technology. I didn't know what was going to happen, no idea, but I knew that something was going to happen. All this technology was just getting bigger and bigger and faster, more powerful. So something was going to happen. And some of this, well, obviously it was leading into computers, but some of this was going to lead into music making in one way or another. So it was just really interesting waiting. It was a bit frustrating as well, because you had to wait years for some of this stuff to happen. We were at the cusp of an absolute revolution, not just in technology, but in music technology as well, throughout the 80s. Absolutely, yeah.
And you saw this. I mean, it's interesting for me because now we are also seeing this AI revolution, and there are many people that criticize it and are. But I have the feeling, maybe I'm wrong, I have the feeling in the 80s, people were very positive about this new technology. Although it was very, very new and very foreign. And also, this is what we see in the science fiction movies. It's not evil. Now it's a bit like, technology, it's maybe we have to distance a bit, or AI, we don't know what happens. It could be dangerous or so.
I mean, all technology can be used for good or bad. And whenever anything new happens, whether it's computers or, as we are living through at the moment, AI, it's a bit of a revolution, I think, now, because it's changing. They're doing more and more. So we seem to be on a similar AI curve to the one that we were on when the music was hitting its revolutionary stage. People are always going to worry about it. Some people, I think, with computers, it's going to take people's jobs. You're not going to need an accountant. Oh, that would be so sad, wouldn't it? Do all sorts of things which would detract from human civilization. And of course it has. We have social media. I generally don't think it's a good thing. I think it's made people more insular. And apart from being social, it has generally made people less social, I think. So there's good things and bad things to everything. And so we'll see what happens with AI. I don't think the worst, anything terribly bad came out of the 1980s, certainly, with the computers. Apart from my books, of course, which...